Yo, what's up y'all, Zaku here. I love manga, which should be obvious as this is a manga channel after all. Ever since I started to read manga in 2022, I've gotten the chance to fall in love with so many great series like Kagurabachi. It's why I'm so hyped for the anime since I've been a manga reader since day one. But not all manga get an anime adaptation. Heck, some don't even get the same treatment or recognition as Kagurabachi. Shonen Jump runs a strict program, so if you're not doing well, you get axed. So that's why I'm here to tell you about one of the many axed manga from the last couple of years that gave me that spark that it could have been something great. And that's Alien Headbutt. Now, Shonen Jump, like I said, is very strict on what gets published. Just like any business, they have to be making as much money as possible. And since the end of Jujutsu Kaisen and My Hero Academia, they have been looking for their next heavy hitter. Now don't get me wrong, things like Sakamoto Days, Akane Banashi, Ichi the Witch, and even Kagurabachi have been doing great in the sales department alongside plenty of other manga with a huge fan base. But nothing can really come close to the level of JJK and My Hero. I mean, those are some of the most popular manga franchises of all time, and to compete with One Piece, you kinda have to be in that category. You see, Shonen Jump is in a weird time right now. A transition period from what was considered new gen at the time, think like My Hero, JJK, Chainsaw Man, Demon Slayer, into newer manga like Sakamoto Days, Akane Banashi, and Ichi the Witch. During this transition period, people have been wondering what will be their next big hit. With Kagurabachi, they struck gold, a manga that will continue to grow in popularity. But Sakamoto Days, which was once a promising manga, is about to finish. After this, the heavy hitters are down to just a couple, and even amongst those, I wouldn't say they were huge deals outside of One Piece. So in this weird transition period, there are obviously a lot of slots for other artists. Mangaka who are hungry to tell a story on one of the biggest stages you can get on. Many succeed and continue to release chapters till this day, and others, well, they get sent to the Shadow Realm. Enter Akira Inui, a mangaka responsible for a couple of one-shots like Dora Gagaga and Sandstorm Borders. They don't really have any information I can find, but in early February of this year, they came out with a new serialization called Alien Headbutt. Now, usually every Sunday, I always check Shonen Jump to see if there's anything new after I read chapters of my favorite series. And I remember this week specifically because it was the same time frame as two other manga I want to highlight, those being Underdoctor and Kinato's Magic. Then Alien Headbutt came out, and it was unlike anything I had ever seen before. Certain anime and manga are bound to fall under the same category and genre. For a long time, there used to be a new Exorcist manga that would pop up every month, it would seem, towards the end of JJK's lifespan, trying to fill that void. Ultimate Exorcist Kyoshi, I remember, got a little bit of hate at the start when it was coming out, but it broke free from that. But something like Shadow Eliminators got banished after only 19 chapters. Same thing with spy/assassin manga. Spy X Family and Sakamoto Days are undoubtedly the king of those genres, but have spawned some clones over the years. Underdoctor to me is very reminiscent of Sakamoto Days, a goofy MC who turns out to be a killer assassin. It's very Sakamoto-like. Mind you, I haven't really read the whole thing, so I'm only going based off of what I've read. But Alien Headbutt was different. It was an alien invasion manga mixed with WWE style wrestling, and that was a combination that I honestly did not expect to like as much as I did. From chapter 1, the art style was definitely interesting to say the least, but the action panels looked out of this world, no pun intended. Some of these panels look spectacular and are extremely detailed. The manga follows Aoga Shirokiba, who loves wrestling. After finding an old tape in his dad's desk of pro wrestlers, that was his dream, to become one. When he gets older, he gets more apprehensive on leaving, worrying that his family needs him ever since his dad died. But his mom hands him his ticket to Tokyo and assures him that she's got it. He promises his family that when he comes back, he will be a famous pro wrestler. And lo and behold, that's exactly what he does, turning into Shirokiba the Hellhound. After becoming the world heavyweight champion, he goes back home to Mukurojima, the island where his family's from. When he gets there, however, he finds that the town is in disarray. A crazy 3-car crash is ahead of him, and he realizes that it's strangely quiet for something so intense. Before long, however, he hears something running at him, and a huge alien comes out of nowhere and takes this guy's head off with one kick. Whatever this thing is, it's fast and very strong. This alien and all the aliens in this manga have some of the coolest and most intricate designs I've seen. This running alien looks sleek and bug-like while still coming off as incredibly toned and humanoid. Shirakiba is rightly confused and he gets his ass beat by this alien. While on the ground leaking, he has a flashback to his mentor, the head of Japanese pro wrestling, telling him that if he has nothing to fight for, then why show up, and to get back on his feet because he can't give up just yet. He then stands up in this sick panel, grabbing the alien and launching it into a building. Even though this alien is stronger, faster, and more durable than anything Shirakiba can manage, it can't outsmart him when he uses one of his ultimate moves, GTH Suplex. It kills the alien, but not without leaving something behind. As Shirakiba walks away, a weird worm creature stabs into his chest. He rips it apart as the chapter ends with him vowing to save his family from these monsters. Now, I don't know about y'all, but this was an excellent first chapter. You don't see many alien manga really. The only one coming to mind off the top of my head is Dandadan, and even that has more than just aliens. But the thing that sets this apart from anything is the wrestling. Shirakiba's whole thing is wrestling. That's what makes him interesting as a main character. You want your main character to be likable and have something about him that makes him stand out, and wrestling is perfect. Him getting called the Hellhound to showing how ruthless he is when he's fighting the world champ. You know from the get-go that this guy will do anything to win a fight. His special moves are called Go to Hell, or GTH for short, and they also clue you in that this guy is kind of a nut job. But he's more than that. He's trying to protect his family, but even beyond that, he's just trying to fulfill his promises. This sets up future payoffs of not only saving his family from the aliens, but also proving to them that he could do what he said he could. It's an earnest character trait to want that appreciation from your family, and honestly very heartwarming when you think about it. Now, there can't always be sunshine and rainbows when it comes to new manga, especially ones that got axed. So what about Alien Headbutt made it get cut from Shonen Jump? Well, something that stood out to me in this manga is how basic it is. Now, that's not inherently a bad thing per se, but things in this manga just feel very formulaic and just average. A lot of the time, I just feel like things are happening and are being said just to push the plot forward. Like this kid just said that he doesn't know anything else important to Shirakiba. He can't tell him anything else. But then as soon as Shirakiba beats up all these aliens, he magically remembers where more people are being kept. It's just completely shoehorned in. Also, everything seemed pretty rushed from the get-go. Tatsumi is supposed to be the protagonist almost, or even like a companion character, and he just gets introduced as this random kid's big brother who just so happens to have a long history with Shirakiba, and they both also happen to be pretty strong and also can fight, and you get the point. There are a lot of good things about this series, and the highs to me are super high. I can't comment enough about the creature design. It is really, really impressive. Each alien class follows a similar pattern. They all have a clear design philosophy, and I think that it looks great. Later in the series, we get to see the villain group, and they have some pretty cool designs. This centaur looking thing is massive, and it looks stronger than the brute alien that took so much energy to beat. The leader pulls up in a motorcycle smoking a cigarette, but he looks strangely human, which that's weird, and that's kind of interesting. You want to know more about him. There's also these other alien soldiers, and I like how I said before that there's a clear design philosophy, but this just kind of gets thrown out the window, and they just have insane designs. I feel like this was just a flex of how cool can I make my characters look almost. At the end of the series, our heroes get an insane power buff due to the rapid evolution of their bodies thanks to the alien parasite worm thing, and they look pretty cool. But by this point in chapter 13, you can tell that things are getting stale and we're gonna end real soon. The story up to this point was very simple. You meet an alien, you struggle to beat it, you beat it thanks to the parasite's effect or having enough grit, and rinse and repeat. There wasn't much else happening, no story beats, no character moments, just pure dumb action. And reading it weekly, it was a great and refreshing palate cleanser after the hell that was Kangarabachi during the time of this releasing. But it was getting very stale very fast. I'm sure Shonen Jump told Akira, hey, you're getting axed, bud, so wrap it up nicely and let's get going. So he just rapidly developed everyone all at the same time with no hesitation. The heroes get a huge power boost, and the villains' motives are clearly stated. Everyone knows that they're evil. You fight the villains at the end, and you win. The final fight, all things considered, was pretty entertaining, and this line specifically hits very hard. But that was the end of the story. After only 16 chapters, the story ends with what the title says, an alien headbutt. His family is freed, and he gets to set off around the world, stopping the aliens all over again. The end. An honestly bitter ending. I mean, this comment from the author after the manga ended is so heartbreaking. Him saying sorry makes me think that he's ashamed of his work. But honestly, these 16 chapters are really fun, and I definitely recommend it. Do I think it could have been a mainstay? Not a chance. But a 16 chapter cutoff when things like Gone Wrong Egg went longer? I mean, I mentioned Shadow Eliminators earlier. I would pay anyone all the money I've ever seen if they ever even heard of Shadow Eliminators. And this got axed at 16? Even Dear Anemone at least had one more chapter. Again, who has ever heard of Dear Anemone? I definitely recommend this for some dumb, fun action. I can tell that Underdoctor is pretty good from the little that I've read, and there are other heavy hitters yet to come out in anime form. If you liked this video and you want to see more, make sure to like and subscribe, and comment down below a manga that you read that nobody else likes but you do. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.